Hey.
And we are back live.
Well, hello there, everybody.
Wow.
I made a bad mistake, guys. My dad called. He's got a new cell phone, and I was trying to get to the volume on my laptop so I could turn it down and talk to him off camera, and everything shut down. So, do we have anybody back on?
Looks like we already got 16, so I appreciate everybody jumping on over.
Man, I can't apologize enough, y'all. I'm so sorry. That's the first time that's ever happened, and
No worries.
I'm doing my best to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Ain't like anybody's gonna take away our birthdays or nothing. No worries at all.
I know I'll be cursed. All my kids will be born naked.
Nice. Oh, you know what it is? Your beard will go red.
My son's beard is red.
Is it?
Yeah. I'm fixing to go in there and shut that dog up.
Hey, Brody, YouTube is on to us. Sort of, yeah. Oh, Curtis, glad to see you. Crazy Georgia chats. Yeah, we had a bit of a log off problem there. That's all right. It happens.
That's my bad, guys. I'm sorry.
I think I've done it once or twice, I'm sure. McCain's coach. Man.
Maybe that'll work.
So if that ain't a Trump answer, let's just blame it on John McCain.
So, Jeremy, y'all go ahead.
All right, so guys, I'm glad everybody could come on back. Sorry for the little bit of delay, but we'll get back to it here in just a second as we kind of get around. I remember that Chico was talking about some kind of question he had that was sort of rookie-ish.
Yeah, it was. I was just wondering if you still feel the same butterfly.
Ah, that's right, butterflies. Well, all right, so Kyle kind of went through his. I'll tell you, with me, I don't know about butterflies so much as I'm probably more tuned in when I shoot my reloads in a new rifle or a new cartridge I've never reloaded before. And I think it's a cartridge I've never reloaded before because if I have, let's say, 45 Colt and I buy a new lever gun, I don't get any hesitation or not hesitation, but any butterflies for shooting it. But if I'm shooting something new that I've never reloaded for, I think I get a little bit like that with rifles just as much as handguns. Hey, Mig, how's it going, brother? Yeah, Coach, we're back. Sorry about that. A little delay there, folks. Let's see, a taco? Somebody said a taco sighting? Or was somebody camera sideways?
No, Taco's here.
Hey, brother, how's it going?
Hey, Taco, I can't see the side chat. I'm on the back porch. I was taking a pause for the cause during the technical difficulties.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Good steal.
Thanks. I do what I can with what I got. Hey, Mario. Oh, so look, yeah. I looked. By the way, I looked at that, Dylan. It's sold. That one that was on. That one that was on.
I told him, I was like, it's going. I didn't want to say it was gonna go, but the price on it. And I know we're on rifle, but for $250, I was like,
yeah. Look, the one thing I didn't like, there was something goofy with the frame on it.
I seen that, and I started to text you about that.
Where it looked like somebody had drilled into the frame, and I'm like, I've got an extra frame though. So what I was going to do if I talked to him was be like, hey, look, man, I'm going to have to go and source another frame for it because that's a weak spot from where you messed with that, even though I've got one already. So I was going to just swap the heads on 8 and 9 and try to get away with it. But
now, was it the same frame? No, that was a different press.
I've got a 450 frame, but I could take most of it. Yeah, I could take most of all that 550 and wrap it up into that 450 and be happier than a pig in snot. But
I seen it. I thought right about you. I was like,
oh, I missed it. Swing and a miss. Man, sometimes you're waiting for your pitch and you get it and you just caught waiting.
Yeah, but brother, they come and go. I'll keep my eye out, man. But this is what it was: 550 with dies and a powder measure, $250.
Yeah, it was a full setup. It was a rough full setup, but it was a full setup for 250.
Can I answer Chico's question?
Yeah, I didn't know you were back, brother. I'm sorry. I was looking down here.
The first cartridge I reloaded once I started reloading was 30-06. So if you think you're nervous going out to shoot your first reloads in a 9mm, come on over to my house, man. But yeah, I believe in trimming brass big time. But I think that's the reason, is because that was the first ones. So yeah, Taco said he's been sick. I hope you get feeling better. And
So look, I also heard this from all you guys. I heard two different topics or two different answers. Some say they measure the brass first, then size it, and some say they size it first, then measure it.
Yeah, I think there's also size or trim, size, and then check again.
Reason was if I just drop it in one of them Wilson case gauges, if it sticks out the bottom, I know it's got to be trimmed. I know it does. So I'll put that after I mark it. You know, it's already marked with how many times it's been loaded. I know it's got to be trimmed. If I can come up with 50 pieces of brass that I don't have to trim, and I can load up on a Friday night and be ready to go Saturday morning, I'm going to use those 50 pieces of brass that I know don't have to be trimmed. Then when I have a trimming party, I'll trim all of them at once. And then the ones that were in that one bucket, I'll resize those and see if they need to be trimmed again. There's just no sense in resizing something that's already way too long, because it's going to become longer. And and my theory is it may damage the die. I don't know. I just don't want to do it. So I take that extra step.
Gotcha. Okay.
It may be unnecessary. I don't know, but I think it damaged the brass more than it damaged the die. But it's.
Well, one of the reasons why I do it different for different things, right? I have a fair amount of straight wall case kind of stuff, right? So I don't have to worry about a lot of length grown. So I can take my 4570s and check them right out of the tumbler, and make sure they're all right, and they are. And then if they need to be trimmed, trim them, which that's not going to happen most of the time. I also have like my 303 Brit where I do very, very minimal sizing on. Like it gets a case neck size, and that's about it. And I'll trim it before I go ahead and size it. But if I'm going to do a full length size on something, I'll usually wait to measure it and trim it until after I've sized it. So I know that's a little bit fluid for some of the new guys out there. Your safest bet is the cutest dog ever. Oh, probably your safest bet, guys, is to go ahead and resize it and then trim it. Usually, that is a cute pup.
I do a lot of neck sizing like you do, Nathan, and that's why I just go ahead and check it, because I've got buckets of brass that have been fired out of my rifle. I know they're sized to my chamber. I don't need to full length resize them, so just go ahead and check them, and then. When you're neck sizing, you're not going to be pulling the brass from the bottom up to the top. So you're just working on the neck. So if you go ahead and trim them, chances are they're already good and you don't have to worry about it. If it's something that's never been shot in my rifle, it's definitely getting full length sized. But
Tin Man.
I guess I should have said that earlier. I'm sorry.
Tin Man says, that's why I don't have time to reload. Too busy fixing the Lee Progressive. Oh, that's funny. That is funny stuff. Yeah. Charles Zerby says the new Lyman trimmer looks good. I like the looks of it when I saw it during SHOT Show air time frame, but I haven't seen it in operation still. I need to go look for some videos. I was figuring that Uncle Jim was going to end up buying one and making it a crusade, sort of like he did with the powder measure, but I haven't seen that.
I've become actually a fan ever since Mig sent me the 223 setup for my my Lyman Case Prep Center. I've become a fan of that, and it's amazingly accurate. Those are pretty precisionally cut and measured stems to fit in the flash hole. I mean, you're within. What I found is they're generally 0.02 above minimum length. And if you want them all the way back down to minimum length, just push a little bit and it will do it. But just normal pressure, just sitting there watching a YouTube video and just stick your hand on it. When it quits making noise, you're good.
Jeremy says that he's fallen in love with Trail Boss for 45 Colt. Me too, brother. I've got 2 of the small jugs and then 1 big one sitting back here full of it.
And I'm falling in love with it for 45 Colt, 44 Magnum, 44 Special. I'm falling in love with that powder. I love it.
Yeah, what a great, useful. What I found with it, I know this is a different thing. Man, I just gotten really good consistency with lower pressure lows, which used to be kind of hard to do. So once we've gone ahead and we've sized. Now, okay, we talk about sizing. We've talked about neck sizing, shoulder bump back, full length sizing. Now, there's different times to do different things, right? For instance, I'm a believer in full length sizing for any kind of semi-auto. However, I will shoulder bump back for hunting if it is ammo that I have used in my firearm before, right? So if it's my 8x56 Mauser, if it's an ammo that I've used before, I will bump the shoulder back rather than full length size, even though that would be what I would consider hunting ammunition. And I'll neck size for stuff that I'm trying to get really, really, really Nats patootie on, which is basically all just making sure that I'm going to have good neck tension and things like that. But what about you, Kyle? What do you think on all that?
When I'm loading for longer range, I mean, I consider my 308. It's a 1,000-meter rifle. And I've been at shooting competitions where now we're going to 1,500. And I'm just like, well, I'll wing it, but I have no guarantees. Because the trajectory and ballistics of what I'm shooting out of mine, they tend to go transonic at about 1,050 meters, which means you don't know where it's going to go. I have hit steel at 1,500 with it. Of course, it took 10 shots to do it, but and they were all over the place because I don't know where the hell they're going at that point. 30-06 300 Win Mag. You can get similar accuracies out of between the two. 300 Win Mag is more for a little bit longer range. 30-06, you can go 1,500 with it if you're using the right projectile at the right velocity, and you're prepping the neck the way you need to. The shoulder is bumped exactly where it needs to be. You have the precise neck tension and a bullet with the exact same run out as the one you just shot.
Well, so, that goes to neck turning it as well. When you're getting into Nat's ass shooting,
right?
I've seen there's inside neck turning, there's outside neck turning. There's 2 different things. One thing to keep in mind is if you outside neck turn, right, you get your outside completely concentric, but when you go ahead and put your bullet in there, you might have had something on the inside, and then you're back to having it dicked up again.
Right.
So, you could do it on both, but then sometimes that's getting your neck a little too thin, depending on what your brass manufacturer is, and then it won't hold that 2,000 to 3,000 neck tension that you want.
You're going to get 2 reloads maximum once you start neck turning, and that's on, I'd say, low to middle of the road powder charges. You start loading some hot stuff, which oddly enough, all of my rifles like good hot loads, and you start doing that, you're going to reload that case one time and you're done.
Meg, it doesn't get cold down here. I shoot hot in some things. It depends on what it is. Like my Brit is primarily a target rifle for me. I just go down and shoot paper with it, and it has a reduced load.
But you know where it's going, and you're not going 1,500 meters.
No, I'm shooting at 100 yards. So shooting at 100 yards, I've got a sub MOA out of a 303 Brit. I'm very happy with that, especially something to warm up with.
One of those.
Yeah. It's a gun I've had my whole life pretty much. So, but now if I get my Mauser or the Swiss or something like that, those are full house. Mauser could be full house plus, depending on how pissed off I'm at it that day. But yeah, so I'm with you, man. You're gonna have different reloading brass tendencies depending on how you're loading it up.
The more range you go to load for, the less load you're going to get on a piece of brass. I mean, you can load 308 for 100 yards 15 times, 20 times.
Now, do you believe in primer pocket uniforming? Do you think that's an important step for accuracy, or do you think that's kind of a little bit of overkill?
On longer range stuff, yes. Well, on anything that you're wanting to shoot more than 100 yards, I believe in primer pocket uniforming. Now, flash hole reaming and stuff like that, I don't get into until we're 500 plus, because it doesn't make that much of a difference. But when I went through all of the steps, primer pocket work, flash hole work, headspace work, bumping the shoulder exactly where it needed to be, adjusting your dies. Yes, it feels like you're fixing to break something, but you're not. You're putting exactly where it needs to be. Neck tension and all that. Those 5 shots were within 6 feet per second of each other. That's before I shot my chronograph. They were within 6 feet per second, and they all hit within it. That's where we were at when we went dead. You could cover all 5 shots at 300 meters with a quarter. I was like, damn. Of course, they were all low because it was a much heavier bullet than what I was used to using. I was using the 175 Sierra Tip Match Kings, and I went to the Hornady AMAX 208s. And so it was about 5.5 inches low, but you could cover every single one of them with a quarter. I went, this is nice. I mean, I'm shooting paintballs at 300 meters with this round.
Well, Jamie's back. So what's the little feller's name, or filly?
The little dog.
Yeah.
Originally, we named her Minnie, as in Minnie Mouse.
Mm-hmm.
Because Rigby just loves Minnie Mouse, but she's turning into my baby, so she gets called baby more than anything else right now. But maybe Minnie will come around and start realizing what her name is if we would actually call her by her name.
My dog doesn't have a name, so I understand how confusing it gets.
Well, your dog has a name.
So you telling me you just walk in and say, "Sup, dog"?
Yeah, pretty much. Dog does not have a name. Like, I've never given her a name. Her name is usually Stop, or like Come On, or Go Pee. I mean, she doesn't have really a name, because I couldn't think of anything that I wanted to name a girl dog that I didn't feel embarrassed about having to yell across the neighborhood.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, Minnie's a little lame, but you remember the movie Big Jake, John Wayne?
Yeah, dog.
And that dog would rip somebody open, buddy. So, yeah, even if you call your dog Dog, the dog has a name. The dog's name is Dog.
That's what I've called her. I've called her Dog forever, and some people do, some people don't. My parents call her Red. I don't know.
I like that Vanessa kitty. Maybe we can go with Lady.
Start calling her Bob, because you can yell Bob across any neighborhood.
Yeah, I had a dog for a short period of time that looked a lot like the one that you showed us there, and I called her, or I think it was a him, but I called him Yellow Dog.
Here, yeller, come back, yeller.
Yeah, old yellow dog.
Y'all talk about names. I thought my name was Damn It till I was 16 years old.
I was Jesus Christ.
Oh man. Well, Jamie, let me ask you: have you gotten into primer pocket uniforming yet?
No, I will. I just have bought one of those flash hole deburring tools. Now I'll do that. But you gotta remember, I don't shoot over 500 yards either. I'm just I'm loading hunting loads and trying to get someplace where I can shoot to 300. But
Okay.
the biggest challenge I have is removing crimps, primer pocket crimps from 5.56.
The best thing that I've seen, and you can ask Uncle Jim because I know that he's played with his birthday present from Mig.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Man, I bought mine. I went, it's a Black Friday deal. I went Chico on it. Yeah, go ahead, grin, do it. There it is. All right. I went full Chico on it. I got the thing at less than half price. I said, hell, I can't afford not to. So I got it and got it home, got it set up, all that stuff. I was doing 223 because I had a whole bucket full of 308 one-time military brass, and it's got the same crimp. I was like, oh, man, this comes with a large reamer too. That's cool. I was sitting there, took a piece of 223 and went, hey, quit cutting. And no matter what you did, it wouldn't cut anymore. I'm like, oh, so it's one of them set it and forget it kind of things. Okay. So I started sitting them back and I loaded up a Lee Loadmaster full of 223, putting some 55 grain Hornadies, my standard, just a little pet load. And never had a single primer not go in. I mean, just cha-chink, 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 filled up a box and let's go shooting. And I did the same thing on the 308, and I was like, man, this is magic. This is the best thing since sliced bread. And you dang sure don't have to do it by hand, with a screwdriver handle apparatus. You can just sit there and go, flip it over, and it's ready to load. You can sit there all night long, listen to the radio or whatever. You're not really pushing down. You're not straining yourself or anything like that. It works great. When the plate gets full of brass where you've cut everything out, you just take a little paintbrush and sweep it into the little cup, throw it in the trash can. I mean, it's a spectacular system, but it costs a little bit of money. You have to wait until you can find it. I think I paid $68 for mine, which is dirt dang cheap, which is the only reason I bought it. It's kind of like the only reason I have the automatic Hornady powder measure. It was dirt cheap. That's why I bought it. And both of those items have made my reloading life so much easier. Would I pay full price for them? No. I'll go ahead and tell you that. Nope. But I got good deals on them when I got them, and that's why I have them. I'm not the millionaire that y'all think that I am, where I own all these fancy things. No, I had to wait for them, but I got them at a good deal. I went Chico on them.
I've always worried or wondered about the primer pocket uniformers that take and flatten the inside of the base.
I was going to say, you're not talking about the reamer where it gets rid of the crimp. You're talking about the flattener.
The ones that flatten the base. I always wondered with them if you run into issues with that creating primer pockets or primers that are different heights.
I haven't noticed it. I was thinking the same thing. It doesn't really cut. It just moves stuff out of the way. It's not removing material. It's just pushing. It's like a bulldozer. It's just pushing it somewhere else. It ain't taking it nowhere. If that makes sense at all, maybe it doesn't. I was trying to dumb it down as best I could.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you with the swager, but the ones that I've seen have it's got a cutting bit in there. You take it in there and you cut it. You pull it out and it leaves a nice flat surface, but it's cut.
Well, but it's a set depth. The ones that I've got that I screw into my case prep center, it's a set depth, flat blade all the way across. It just spins,
Mm.
and you sit it on there, and you can feel it go, and then it's done. You can sit on it, and then it won't cut any more material.
Okay, well, I guess that would be one way to do it. Take it all the way as far as you can.
Well, there's a step. There's a step on the after you ream the crimp out of it. There's a step on the next bit. It won't let it go past that, and you can't push it hard enough to make it do it because that's not a cutting surface. It's just a surface. So it just uniforms all that where your primer seat's nice and flush in the same depth. Because all it's doing is moving the brass somewhere else. It's pushing it away. It's putting it back in to the case head, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. The only time I've ever done that was with a hand tool, and it certainly was cutting because it was leaving brass. But I think there might be different tools out there that do different things, possibly.
Yeah, on the Lyman Case Prep Center doesn't do that.
We're since my catastrophe and cut us off, we wasted that time, so we may go a little bit over tonight, but it's all right with y'all. But I'll show y'all some of my case prep stuff. I do not have a Lyman Case Prep Center. All mine I do either by hand or with the drill, with these attachments on the drill. This is one of my favorite tools that I paid way too much money for. This is a Hornady contraption. I could have just about bought I don't know how many of y'all have seen these, but it's got these two tabs on the side. You squeeze them, pull this out, turn it over, and I've got primer pocket cleaners in here right now. But if I've got a bunch to do, like this bag full, and I got to clean all the primer pockets, I can unscrew this bit and I'll put it in my drill chuck and just run it. This is nice, and it also, it comes with these aluminum blocks right here. It comes with two of them. And what I have done is put my Camper deburr tool in one, and I can do that.
Well, see, now that's a nice tool because it's got that nice big ergonomic handle.
Yes, it keeps you from cramping up.
I bought the Lyman set because I wanted a way to do it, but this is before I bought the Lyman Case Prep Center. It comes in a little box. It's got large and small everything and chamfer and deburr and all that. It's all in one little set. And after one full week of being down at the shooting property, reprocessing brass and all that, I said, there's got to be a better way because it's a little screwdriver handle, just a little, and a little bitty edge. It's uncomfortable to wear your hand out, not your wrist, and that's what you're using. It'll wear your fingers out. I've got it in case I ever need it, but that's when I come across that Black Friday deal, and I was like, yep, that's bought.
Well, I also have this Lyman tool.
That's the handle I'm talking about. I hate those.
Yeah.
Why? What do you feel about it, Jamie? I've always thought they were pretty comfortable.
Well, it's plastic and rubber. See, the gray part right there is rubber, but it's small and it can get your fingers to cramping up. Like I said, if I'm gonna do a bag full like that, I'll take this little tip off and chuck it up in my drill and just go to town. I also have this Lyman, and this one, it's all aluminum and it's not knurled up, so you can grip it real good. But you can unscrew this, and it's got some pretty dang good. You can do an Elvis. But it's got some really nice tools in it. Matter of fact, I keep my. Yeah, let's drop everything. All right, that's what they call I don't know if y'all can see that.
Up a little. There you go.
I don't know if y'all can That's what they call in a primer pocket cleaner. It's basically a end of a screwdriver.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That cleans everything out and it moves the brass somewhere else.
That ain't gonna move enough brass to decrimp that primer pocket.
No. You got the other one.
Yeah, I got that one.
Yeah, that thing will cut.
Yeah, this one cuts good. This is I use this in my drill. That's the 223 size, and this is the large 308 size.
Yeah, that baby right there will get rid of that cramp. Then I run that other tool up in there, and you can feel it. It'll uniform the primer pocket. If anything's out of space, like it's not exactly flat or something, you can feel it, and it. I never see anything come out of it, but it's rough, and then everything's smooth. It's like it's pushing it somewhere else.
You starting to sound like Minnie now.
Bark, bark, bark.
Ruff, 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 ruff.
Hey, can any one of you answer Larry Palmer's question? He says, "What tool do I need to chuck a case on a drill?" I don't think you chucked the case on the drill, right?
You chucked a tool on the drill.
Right.
Actually, there is one.
Yeah, there is one. There's a lead tool
Oh,
that can be chucked into the drill, and then you put your it's got like a little damn it, I think I got it somewhere. You got
Sorry,
one?
I was wrong. Sorry, Larry. I was wrong.
Yeah, me too, Larry. I'm sorry.
You got one handy, Jamie?
No, I don't have that. They call it a 3-something chuck. Three jaw chuck. Kenny's got one. He did a video on added in one of his videos.
I actually did not know that. I see. I'm learning.
Brody said Lee case gauge.
That's exactly right, Fuzz.
What did Fuzz say?
Yeah, you can use Lee case gauge. I've got one of those too. He said his first primer pocket cleaner was an old
Screwdriver.
That sounds about right. Hell, that's when they first invented screwdrivers.
Basically, it's this thing right here. But the thing is, you got to have the proper shell holder to put it in your drill. See, this end right here chucks up into the drill. The Lee.
Yeah, you got it. There you go.
Okay. And does it have some claws or something that it grips the case?
Let me get one and I'll show you. It's just the Lee.
Case head.
What do they call that? You know what they call that, Nathan?
Oh man, I'm terrible with that. I don't remember. I do know that it's part of the whole trimmer deal. So it's got like a shell plate that basically screws onto that thing and kind of tightens it down.
That piece right there comes with the cutter.
Yeah, and I've got it. I've got that whole show somewhere here.
Does it work good, Nathan? In your opinion?
Yeah, it's a little slower than what most people probably would like, but I like it because I don't do usually 100, 200, 300 rifles. I only do 20 or 50 at a time, so I like it fine if I'm going to use that.
You know, I figure if I prep one piece of brass a day in a year, I'll have 365 pieces. You know, and,
that would be a good job.
That'll be
a good job. You'll have done a good job. I'll say good job after that. Good job.
It'll be right. Thanks, Brody. You know, I do know Kyle's talking about that Lyman prep center. I know Uncle Jim's got one. I happen to know someone who's got one for used for $75.
That would be $75 you ever spent, sir.
Yeah, it's funny. Fuzz asked about reloaders eating on chat. And I got to thinking about Uncle Jim's chat. If you don't eat during Uncle Jim's chat, you might die.
Yeah. That's why I told Fuzz. I said, "I'm sorry, man. I got a high metabolism. I don't know if you seen me eating that brisket sandwich. It was good, brother."
Everybody's seen me eating chicken wings and all kinds of stuff. So.
All right, I'm gonna show y'all this if I can. But this is not what I was talking about. The 3-jaw chuck that they got, actually, you just stick a piece of, it's about that big around, and you can see the 3 jaws inside it. They're like semicircles, and you screw it down. And but this is the Lee. Most of y'all know what I'm talking about anyway, but for these, some of you don't. Okay, and this is on my video about the Hornady cam lock. Okay, so when you buy it, you get this is the chuck part that I already showed you, and then you get the cutter. These come in one pack, and the pack, oh man, it'll look like this, but it won't say 8mm Mauser. What comes in this pack is your case holder, this thing right here, and your case length gauge. They call that the case length gauge and shell holder, and it comes in this pack.
Yeah, that's what I've got for 223 and 308.
Okay. So what you do is you this is a screwdriver, but pretend it was a drill. You put this piece in your drill.
You're going to have to pick it up higher, Jamie.
Your chuck goes in there like that. Then you screw your case holder on there. One more time. Screw your case holder in there like that.
Okay.
Then you take your case length gauge and your cutter. You screw this into there like that. And so what you're reduced to is you take your brass. Let's see if I can find one. I'm so prepared. Can y'all tell I did show prep this week?
Yeah.
That's a rhetorical question that didn't require an answer.
Sorry, sir.
And that was a joke. So you take this, put it in your case holder, and then screw this down till it locks. You got to make sure you keep that in the center because you don't want to get it out of square. So then you take and stick that in there and trim your brass. So every time you change your case, every time you trim one, you gotta unscrew it, take this out, put another one in, screw it down like that. That's why those case prep centers are so great, man. Just pick a piece of brass up and go.
That's exactly why Lee came up with that little adapter that screws in that Mig sent me, and I wish I'd have kept the packaging because I got the part number for it. And all you do is you screw your case length gauge into that adapter that's already in a cutter, and you just pick it up and go, and it's done. It's amazingly quick. I call me crazy and old fashioned, but I'll sit there and watch MASH episodes and just do 500 pieces of 223 or 308. Just sit there and watch TV. It's not hard and it's not stressing on you at all. What the hell is going on over here?
We're talking about eating, man.
Never mind.
Okay, so we're at 6 after.
Yeah, that's true.
Y'all ready to start wrapping this thing up after I destroyed us?
Man,
No, you
nothing.
didn't. It
Don't
happens.
worry about it. You know, stuff happens, man. Ain't no worries. We're here to have fun and chat and talk with our friends. So I ain't gonna worry about it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Go ahead, brother.
No, I was saying, yeah, that's cool. No, Jamie, you did good, brother. It's not your fault. That stuff happens.
I was gonna say, Vanessa, you can start that math chat and see how many people show up.
No turkeys were harmed during this one.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
Well, I'll start as
go ahead, brother.
Guys and girls, because recently, well, not recently, I seen another woman jump in here today. So we're always excited to have not only men but also women. I like women. We like to have women in the side chat. So thanks for being here. I'm asking some rookie questions because I don't know much about rifles, so y'all bear with me and sorry, but thanks for being here, side chat. That's it for me. But he won't. Oh, sorry. Talking about side chat screens. I'm reading.
Please hold. Trying to found good new pickles.
That was some good information, though, guys. Thanks for really about the trimming and stuff. I didn't know it was that in depth. So
I found what they call half sours, Phil. They're pickles that weren't actually pickled. They're just fresh cucumbers in pickle juice, and they're amazing. Okay, anyway, I'm looking forward to reloading some shotgun, buckshot, and that kind of stuff. There will be a video this week. I got to work tomorrow, so that's gonna kind of suck, but it's a little bit of extra money, and extra money is always good. So, oh, good Lord, Scott, you don't want to talk about ballistic calculators. Oh, man. Everybody's going to need an abacus, but that would be a good math class. That's pretty good, Scott. I like that. Yeah, I got my kids this weekend. I got to work tomorrow. I got to do a little bit of yard work. Hopefully it's not going to be raining. I got to get some weed killer on this damn yard before I have to just start mowing it with a weed eater. Other than that, man, I'm glad everybody showed up, and thank you for coming back for round 2. I had a lot of fun, and we got sidetracked so many times. I hope some people learned something, and hell, if you didn't, I hope you got some pointers for our next one. That's all I can say. But I had fun, so I appreciate everybody being here. Thank you.
I just want to thank everybody for showing up tonight. I saw 53 on there at one point tonight. Thank you guys. Y'all make our Friday nights, make our weekends. For those of you that don't know, I've got 300 subscriber giveaway going on. You can go over to I have a video up on my channel, and I also have one on my channel on the Reloaders Network. You have to go to the Reloaders Network to enter. But what we're trying to do is help some folks that don't have that many subscribers meet some new friends and get their stuff out there and publicized. And that's what it's all about. Try to give back to some of the people that have given so much to me. And I just really enjoy. Like I said in my video, I've met so many good friends that I never would have met if I hadn't have been on YouTube. And I owe Kyle a thanks for pushing me over the edge down into the rabbit hole of making YouTube videos.
No, I owe you thanks for reaching out to me and sending me a message. Or responding to a message. I don't know which way it went. I don't remember. That's been many years ago, man, but I'm damn proud to know every one of you.
that's what it's all about is relationships, friendships, meeting people. If you're in trouble, you can call them and they'll be there for you. But I'm hoping tomorrow to either go to the range or cast some bullets. But the way the weather is around here, it ain't looking like I'm gonna get to do either one of them. I might just sleep. That'd be fine.
You're going to have some mud shoes to go to the range, man. Come on. It's rained 5 inches in the last 12 hours.
I know, man, but I got good boots.
Yeah, but do they have good mud where you're going?
Well, you know how Johns Mountain is up there, man. You just about gonna have to do the backstroke to get your targets. But with that, we'll shift it over to Nathan. Let him run down the side chat if he wants to, and we'll get off of here and wish y'all a good weekend and a happy Easter, and be blessed. And we'll be back on my channel again next week.
Well, guys, I saw up to 59 right before we ended up kind of moving there. Mine wasn't super accurate. So every week we kind of get new viewers in, which I love to see. I was trying to go through and see the new names and maybe subscribe back if I can. If I miss somebody, go ahead and hit me back. Happy Good Friday to everyone. And I hope everyone has a beautiful Easter. Get to spend some time with some family and friends and loved ones. We will be on, like Jamie said, we'll be on next week. Don't know if we're going to continue with rifle brass prep or if we're going to kind of put a pin in it or what, but we'll figure something out, and it'll be a little bit we're trying to stick, guys, with something a little bit more reloading topic wise and breaking things down a little bit further than maybe we have in the past. If you have any suggestions, hit us up on Slack. Please head over to the Reloaders Network. Check those people out. They're good folks. Lots of good content out there. I'm probably not going to have anything up anytime soon, but once we get back to making, or I get back to making videos, that's where they're going to be at. And I certainly appreciate everybody come out, and we will see you again next week. Night.
Night, everybody.
Happy Easter.